Mary, welcome to Wilderness
Hi.
Time Well Spent.
Well, thank you. Nice to meet you.
This is going to be a party. You come as a referral guest
I
from
love
one
referrals.
from one of the all-time greats, Doug Eller-Brock. So thank you, Doug.
Yay.
Mary, I wanted to start with the start of this journey
Mhm.
for you. You went on spring break with your family. You were having a nice
Yes.
time, partying at the beach. You come back, COVID's a reality, and all of a sudden layoffs are all over the country, and you're a part of that.
Yes.
Tell
Yes.
me how you felt in that first week or two after going through that.
It was challenging. I was really wondering how long it was going to last. Did I think that September was going to come around and I would still be in this journey? No. However, I just jumped right in. I made some goals for myself. I started to be very active on LinkedIn, and I built up my network. And I was just trying to contact new people and have conversations. So the way that I had found my job last time was to meet new people and to make them an evangelist for me. So understand who is Mary Leone, what kind of position is she looking for and how can she help an organization. And so my goal was to reach out to 12 to 15 new people every week. And that would be not just reaching out to them on LinkedIn, but actually having a conversation with them. So scheduling some time so that we can talk. And it wasn't just me asking for help from them. I wanted to be able to help them as well. And so I found that I'm a good connector of people. And so if I see that they're interested in a certain topic, if they're interested in a company or something else, will be happy to make that connection for them. And so it's a give and take. It's helping both of us.
12 to 15 people, for a 30 to 60-minute call at time, that's a full-time job almost all on its own. Uh, what did you get? You're having these meetings,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes 6 hours, sometimes 15 hours a week of meetings. What are you learning? What are you getting out of spending your time that way, as opposed to, many other people are fixing their resume again or writing another LinkedIn article or something. What did you
Sure.
get out of that experience?
That is a really good question. One of the things I wanted to learn in this process is I wanted to build my toolbox. And so I have a passion for diversity recruiting. I'm looking for another director of talent acquisition role, but I have a passion for diversity recruiting, especially with transitioning veterans and people with disabilities. And so I was really looking for experts in those areas. So companies that value diversity recruiting and also specifically have programs that help employ people with disabilities as well as transitioning veterans. And so I reached out to people who had big voices on LinkedIn or who were known for those types of programs, and I learned from them. And I really picked their brain. I asked them a lot of questions, and I have a really good toolbox now of best practices. And they were able to refer me to other people that they've met along their journey. And I was able to introduce them to some people that could help them on their journey as well, because it's a never-ending process. You always
Putting
want to learn
aside,
more.
putting aside like maybe
Mm-hmm.
somebody will in the network will get you a job soon. Putting
Mm-hmm.
aside that side of it, I mean, this sounds like you took an MBA in leadership and HR and DNI. Like, what has this meant to you as just a curious, intelligent person spending all this time speaking with all these people?
I feel very fortunate that so many people have been able to give me so much time and that they have referred me to valued colleagues and other people within their networks. I I am a learner. So if you've ever taken the Strengths Finder, that's my number one thing. So I always want to learn more. I always want to challenge myself and do new and better things to improve myself. And so this was a way that I could do that. Not only just listening to webinars, and participating in best practice sharing, but also learning from people. So again, I feel like I was able to help them in addition to them helping me, but it has been a really good growth opportunity. And one of the things I found is that I really like helping people through their job transition as well. So I have found that there's several people who like to refer people to me, either through my veterans contacts or through the job search networks that I've built. And I'm happy to do that service as well. I have a little bit more experience than a lot of people being in talent acquisition for more years than I'm going to say. And I just really enjoy helping people either learn about networking, talk about LinkedIn and how you can use that or other things to help them in their job search.
You've got this one other specialty after a career in working in DNI and doing the work you do with veterans and the disabled. It sounds like a lot of people have asked you or recommended over and over again that you go up and shine your own shingle and create the Mary Leone consulting business. What does that look like? That is a bold leap in any time, particularly when you're transitioning and you're your own boss, you're your own CEO, you're your own manager already in the company of Mary's career. You're deciding to go attempt to go start a business. What does that look like for you?
That is another really good question. And again, the higher up that I was networking, the more people recommended that I start my own business because I had this passion for diversity recruiting and I could help so many more people and companies than just one if I would go to work for a big name company. So actually through my networking, I met somebody who introduced me to my partner. And we started a company called Diversity Outreach Partners. And what we're doing is a lot of times when people put together their affirmative action plans, they don't know what to do next. They have gaps, and it could be in females, it could be minorities, veterans, or people with disabilities, but they don't know how to build those relationships. Maybe they don't have the time, maybe they don't have the expertise. Well, they can come to us and we can help them with that. We can do that outreach for them and we can build those relationships and help them build those pipelines so that they know where to go when they're looking for new candidates.
I think there's a lot of overlap between managing career transition, managing unemployment, and starting a business, being an entrepreneur. You're sort of jumping off a cliff. You're in charge of everything. Nothing happens unless you do it. Networking is everything. What has doing both of these things at once taught you about the other?
That actually is really interesting because I have found that the people that I have networked with and maybe have helped me and are sending people my direction or have been in my networking groups, they want to help me be successful. So they're offering to help coach and they're sending resources my direction, and they also want to be an evangelist for me. And so asking about the marketing materials so that they can share with people in their network to help us grow and build a business. So it's kind of exciting. So all of my networking, it's dual purpose. It's helping me with a job search, but it's also helping me with build a business. And I've made some friends along the way, which is an added bonus.
And friendship wins all. I love conquers all. I like that. I like that. One other thing that I know you've been doing that you mentioned has been really helpful that a lot of people say is very important to them is you have an accountability partner.
I do. So I
What do
have
you
a
do for
good
each other?
So I have a good friend from grad school who is also looking for another HR role. It's a little different area. It's not in talent acquisition. So it was his suggestion. We actually meet every Friday afternoon. And so we talk for half hour, 45 minutes. We talk about our week. We talk about our challenges. We've known each other for well over 20 years because we went to grad school together. And we just learn from each other. So we can help each other. We're stuck someplace or we need a different perspective, and we can share that. And we're not afraid of hurting each other's feelings because we've known each other for a long time and we're happy to give advice. But it's really helpful because it helps me see outside the bottle. So sometimes when you're inside, you can't see the label from inside the bottle. And so it helps me see things differently, and it helps me to think and approach it maybe more strategically and in a different approach.
Yeah, you've been working on this for quite a while now. If somebody loses their job today, Mary, and tomorrow they call you, what advice do you have for them? What do you tell them?
I would listen to them first. So I'd listen to their story. A lot of times people, they need to start there. And I want to know what are they doing? And so I can hear, are they networking? If they're not, then I have some suggestions on how to start there. Are they using LinkedIn? And if so, how are they using LinkedIn? Are they talking to people on the phone? How are they applying for jobs? And I'm probably unusual, but I usually give people homework. And so people will struggle with, hey, I've only made 5 connections on LinkedIn and I never call people. I don't want to talk to people on the phone. And so I challenge them. I said, you can do it gradually. If you're not active on LinkedIn, make 5 connections and then comment 5 times on somebody's post. And then next week, do 1 post on your own. And I give them suggestions on how to come up with a subject matter or where to find articles, and then just repost the material. So again, try to challenge them to be better. I always encourage them to come back if they have other questions, Some people I do have come back and tell me about successes, and some people don't. But again, I'm there to help if people want additional resources, and I really like seeing the success, and I love to see it when people land, and I love to see that I've been able to help with that process.
Mary, I've got one final question for you here.
Sure.
A lot of people use this period of time to
Mm-hmm.
develop themselves in ways besides the
Mm-hmm.
career. You obviously are working 12 to 15 people a week is probably a record in terms of networking. I know you're starting the business and you're doing a lot
Mm-hmm.
for your career, but tell me about something that over the last months you've developed, you've grown outside of the career. That could be something personal, academic, intellectual, introspective, artistic, creative, athletic, familial. What are you really proud of doing over the last few months aside from the career work?
Okay. Well, I would say probably two things. First of all, I've been volunteering with a veterans organization called Vets to Industry, and I am every 3 weeks, we have a very large national, actually international, because we have people from other countries participating, and I'm a networking facilitator. And I love that. I love that role. I've never done that before. It comes very naturally to me. Helping to start the conversation and then directing them, especially around career topics. So I've really enjoyed that. This is actually one of the things that's a little bit outside of my comfort zone. I've been struggling with trying to develop a video or doing video to try and get my message out there. And I really like this approach. So I'm kind of excited about this. I've also been asked to participate and to speak at various networking meetings in addition to be on radio shows. And so again, that's kind of exciting, and I've never done that before. So trying to expand my outreach and just see, what does the next chapter look like? Maybe very differently. At the very beginning, I was wanting to do a podcast, found a couple of people, and then with everything that had happened, probably in the late spring, we had decided to put that on the side burner. But I'd really like to do a podcast at some point as well. And so that's probably in my future, maybe next year.
Yeah. Your future is bright, Mary. Your energy is
Thank you.
contagious. What's your final message for people going through this? What's the one thing you put on the billboard outside of any career shop, any unemployment office, anybody who needs to hear something? What is it that they need to hear, Mary?
Network. You can never network enough, and you never know who you're going to network is and what kind of opportunity you may find. So just keep networking and it'll come. You'll find something and everybody is going to land.
Simple, beautiful, powerful.
Yes.
Mary, thank you so much.
Thank you. I've enjoyed it.